All right, how's it going? I'm lazy in my lazy position, as you guys know, but the video is not sync, is a bit delayed. But anywho, let's talk about this topic. Now, yesterday and today, and in the past, I've been, I volunteered in Salvation Army, in food parcels, and I've engaged with a lot of homeless people. And I never to talk about this topic or have thought about talking about this topic. But as we get, right now, there's a lot of talks about recession or, global financial crisis, what's going on with China and Australia. No, sorry, China and America. How is that going to impact the world? And you know what? Many people says, "Well, you have nothing in life. Why do you need to worry about recession? You're in a stable job field. Why do you worry about recession?" They have a very good point, but I guess the key word is when it does happen. Well, cost of living and inflation, or it can be, loss of job. I think it's the fear of living without these four walls. What I mean by that, that means you cannot sustain the live this force to maybe because you have a debt or you maybe claim bankruptcy or maybe etc. 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 I think is the word is to downgrade your life into living out the street or a tent or living instability lifestyle. Now, us humans, we do not have predators or enemies, right? We have natural disaster. We do have enemies, certain animals, but we keep a distance. We know how to barricade or restrain them in a way that we live in an urban city, uh, where there's not much threat if you think about it. But if you look at it closely, when it does happen that day, let's just say recession or whatever, we do fear of living out the streets. Oh, there's a cold weather. Oh, there's no running properly functioning toilets or a shower or having food in the stomach. These are the stuff that we does come to those hard times. But what if a homeless person? Many of us could end up having suicidal, mental health, or perhaps even worse, homelessness, or in one together, or one. You never know. In our life, there will be a period of your time, or an event will get to you to that stage. Just because you have a marriage, you have a house, and beautiful kids and a wife, doesn't mean that your rest of your life is going to be like that. Especially in this world, instability, job insecurity, and as well submitting this whole consumerism. Okay, what does the homeless people feel about it? Okay, homeless people will say, for example, I'm living in Australia. They say you'll never starve in this country. There's always food, right? When these people they have housing before, and this told me, you know what, I don't mind living out the streets again because living in this real lifestyle at the moment, what we have, there's too much bills and it's ongoing and it keeps on a rise, which is true, right? But let's just say recession. I think we are not tough enough of prepping ourselves or do certain things. Now, I'm not saying all of us will survive or some of us not survive. I'm not. That's not the video that I wanted to put it out. What I'm trying to say is that I think in life in general, we have never been through the hardship. We've gone through it, and we tend to live longer with our parents. It's not much safety net. We've never gone through war, like a complete whole country went to a war. Conscription has been abandoned by the Whitlam government. There's no much a huge threat besides bits of stabbing here or a bit of a terrorist attack or this and that. But when a homeless person, even if they're out of the streets, they live in housing. Housing is a lot more scary, you know. Housing, you sharing with the government housing, you sharing with those who are very, very have unemployment, or just, try to, there's a lot of drug dealing, there's a lot of dramas, there's a lot of fights. You gotta survive, you gotta hustle, you gotta live in this, survive in this environment. And that's why I say I think many of us, and I'm not saying I'm tough enough, I'm weak as hell. I'm gonna let you guys be straight up with you guys. But now we're watching a lot of these recession videos and all these all these governments talking about it. We're so afraid of changes, and that's part of life. It can be good, it can be bad. Not all of us are good, not all of us is bad.